All right, so I'm here with Melanie, and first and last name?
Melanie Moore.
Okay, and how old are you?
I will be 29 this month.
Okay. And I met Melanie actually through my last NPC, my first NPC competition, and she trains with Team Elite Physique. Do you still?
Yep. I'm still on Team Elite.
Awesome. And I did posing classes with them, which is the only reason that we actually know each other.
Ashley Fit.
Yes. Oh yeah. For the Ashley posing seminar. That's so funny. And she, didn't you think that I was actually on Team?
I did. I thought you were. I literally reached out to you and I was like, "You're on my team, right?"
We were standing there drying tans. And you're like, "Yeah, so you're on the team." I'm like, "I'm not on your team."
Yeah. I really thought you were. Yeah, I definitely thought you were.
That's so funny. But so I absolutely, if you don't follow her on Instagram, I will leave her Instagram name right here. But she is awesome. Make sure you give her a follow. She's extremely motivational to me. I think she's a huge inspiration. So if you don't follow her, make sure you follow her. So now we'll dive a little bit into about her and what makes her her and just all that good stuff that you guys are gonna like. So, how did you? Well, first question: what do you do for work?
I'm a personal trainer. I actually rent out a studio to train my clients one-on-one in. It's off Arapahoe and Centennial. It's a nice little gym.
What's the gym called?
212 Performance Gym.
Okay. Yeah, you heard that. How did you get into fitness, and were you an athlete in high school?
I actually wasn't. I was actually an overweight kid. I got picked on a lot in high school. I actually rode the bus. I was a little bit of a nerd. And I remember going actually into my freshman year in college. I had a good girlfriend who, she was just like a fitness guru, and she would always beg me to go to the gym with her, and I had no motivation, so I wouldn't. And she started like bribing me with treats and stuff like that, and it worked. And she actually taught me how to do my first deadlift, and I just fell in love with health and fitness. And
how old were you then?
I was 20 years old when I started, but I didn't get my certification until I was 23. I used to just be like, you know, an average gym goer. I would like learn stuff through the internet or like from friends, but I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a trainer just quite yet.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And how old are you right now?
I turned 29 this month.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm 28.
This month?
Yeah.
Okay.
March 27th.
Okay. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
So second question is, and you kind of did answer it, but like, how long have you been into fitness, and what capacity since you started?
So yeah, like I said, I kind of got into fitness when I was about 20 years old. I became a trainer when I was 23. I actually trained right out of getting my certification. I trained for a corporate gym called Fit. They don't really have a lot out here, but it's kind of like Planet Fitness. And there was no structure. Like they didn't teach us measurements or like squat assessments or like anything like that. So I didn't get the right view on how it was to be a personal trainer. So I actually separated and went to real estate for a little bit. And I just knew that that wasn't where my heart was. Like I love health, fitness, helping people and helping other people achieve their goals. So I ended up going back to personal training when I moved out here from Florida, and I started that 24-hour fitness on Park in Arapahoe. And I had the best general manager of any job I've ever had in my life. His name is Josh Dacus, and he taught me so much. He like refueled that fire for personal training and helping people. And then from there, I went down the competition route as we go. And then now like I said, I rent out a private studio to do my training and so on and so forth. I'm just really trying to grow. And like, I get my happiness, like my pure joy and all of that comes from when people come to me and they're like, I couldn't do this before training with you, or I couldn't fit into this dress, or whatever the goal is, it doesn't matter. Like when they're so excited about reaching that, I get excited, and it literally put me into tears. So yeah.
So their excitement is like really.
Yeah, that's what fuels me. That is my fuel. It no matter what I do, like that's why I chose this career path, is because it makes me so happy.
What do you see for yourself in the next 3, 5, even 10 years?
Oh God, that's a little bit of a tougher question, because honestly, if you would have asked me last summer before I went off on my own if I was going to do that, I probably would have said like eventually that'll be the goal, but I don't know when. And then I kind of just like did it. I just was like, forget it, I'm gonna do it. I told 24-hour Fitness, and I went and signed a lease at this gym, and I made it work. And like I did it when I really didn't think I could do it, and so that has just pushed me so much towards every aspect of my life that like even if you don't think you can do it, just try. Like what's the worst that can happen? Like yeah, you might fall down on your face, but you can get back up. It's a learning curve. Like everything comes as a learning curve, whether you make it or not, and you get better every time you try. So.
Right, and if you never try, I mean,
how would you exactly?
My thing is the time is going to pass no matter whether you do it or not. So I'd rather try and fail and try again because the time is going to pass no matter what.
Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Totally went off of these questions that I have, but what is your biggest message that you hope to teach as many people as possible? Like, what's your message?
My message is like, and it's so kind of cliche, but everybody, whether you need to or not, when you get into what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve, you compare yourself to the person that's at that top spot, and that's like the most like self-destructive thing you can do, honestly, in my opinion, because that's what I did when I first became a trainer. That's what I did when I first became a bikini competitor. Was I kept trying to compare myself and make myself somebody who I wasn't, instead of working towards becoming the best version I can be. And now that I'm there, I actually have women who reach out to me and tell me that I'm an inspiration and they want to be like me. And I feel like I could have helped them out so much more if I didn't do the comparison thing at first. If I just like really worked on me, and I'm my biggest fan. Like if I embarrass myself, or if I like, if I succeed or if I don't succeed and I fail, I'm my biggest fan. And I don't, regardless of how somebody else feels about the situation, it doesn't matter. Like their feelings and their opinions don't matter. It's how I feel about myself and how I feel about my work.
So like confidence and just self-worth.
Just work on, don't worry about what anybody else is doing, because you inspire people that pretend they're not even watching you. Right. Like honestly, like I know that I have people out there that I inspire who may have never said a word to me, but the fact that I know that I'm somebody else's inspiration is going to keep me working on me so that I can show them this is where you can be if you work on you.
So like just knowing that people are watching, whether you can physically see it or not, pushes you like as a competitor in the fitness industry, as like a human. Like that's like your.
I love when people tell me that they like to follow me because I'm so real. I'm not like, oh, this is what I like. That's the thing you'll see in the fitness industry too. Is there's so much fake, so much ads, so much. This is what I use, and like. Don't get me wrong, like there's some like fitness clothing wear that I'll sponsor and I'll do stuff like that, but when people are like, oh my god, I use this every day and this is how I got my six-pack abs, and like that's so fake. And stop trying to buy that product so you can be just like them. Like no, you don't have to do that. Like just work on you and take your time. Like you're laughing everybody at home on the couch not doing anything, so what are you worried about what Sally, Tim, or Joe are doing, you know?
Yeah, and that's so hard because because of social media, it is so easy to compare yourself to everybody else. Like you can find like the #1 person in the world in any aspect and be like, oh, but if only I was that way. But like everybody is so different and is so unique.
You have to understand that social media is a highlight reel. Nobody's posting their failures. I don't post my failure. Well, I mean, I might make fun of myself from my story, but like I don't sit there and pull the woe is me card. Like I said, it's a highlight reel. People are going to post their best moments and the best things going on in their lives. So don't compare yourself and be like, oh, this person doesn't have any troubles and they're just like this all the time. That's not true.
Right.
That's not true.
Absolutely. Okay. And then, so everyone has a story. What's yours and the best way that you can summarize it? And that's what this whole interview series is about, is just everybody has a story. You don't have to be rich or famous to be like, hey, I've struggled and I've overcome it, because everybody has this every day. So that's what this is about. And what's your story?
So, I mean, like, I don't have, like, a insane, like, life-altering. It was really more about just, like, how I felt as a person. Like I said, I was kind of like an overweight child. My family, like, I was raised by my grandparents, and you should see my grandparents. We have, like, 3 pantries at my grandma's house, and they're all filled with junk. Like, it is so, and, like, I'll go home for holidays, and I'm like, oh, this is why I was a fat kid. we have a drawer of Lay's potato chips. Like, are you kidding? And so I just remember, like, all the time I would just be in school and I'd come home and I just feel so defeated because I had a terrible self-image of myself, and that messes up with your mental health. And, like, I wasn't motivated in any aspect of my life, and I just felt like the better you feel on the inside, the better you produce on the outside, you know? And so I got to the point where, like I said, I wanted to do something about it, but I wasn't, like, super motivated. It takes time to get to where you want to be. It takes time to get motivation. They say 21 days to form a habit, but honestly, it took me like 3 months to form a habit. I'm not even kidding. And I've fallen off the wagon. After my first competition in 2014 or 16, after my first competition, I just felt so defeated because I didn't do good in any of the classes I competed in. I had felt like I'd starved myself and like overworked myself, and so I didn't even know what a reverse diet was, and so like when I went back to eating what I liked, it blew up, and then I just was so unhappy, and then like the motivation, like I've had 2 terrible off seasons, and like once you become a competitor, once you feel like you're a fitness guru or however you want to
like you're supposed to know what you're doing.
Exactly. You still are human. Like I still enjoy ice cream and treats and like going out and having a good time with my friends and like doing the stuff you're not supposed to do.
Right.
And I'm human, but like that's the thing is like you have to get to a point where you realize, hey, listen, I had my fun. This isn't the path. This isn't constructive for me. Let's get back on the horse and like let's keep going. And so that's it. It's just I don't. It hasn't been like success isn't from a point A to point B. Success is like all over the map. Pit stop over here, come back to it. You know, like so, and it's never ending. Like progress is never ending. Work ethic and everything towards your goals is never ending. I'm not going to come in here one day and be like, well, I reached it. I'm here. It's my last day. I'll never have to do this again.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Sorry, that was kind of a rambling moment.
No, it's good. It's good. I like rambles. It's real. All right. So this one kind of goes with the last one, but can you name 1 or 2 experiences that changed who you are as a person or changed your life for the better?
Yes, actually. One would be moving out here to Colorado. Honestly, like I said, I'm from Florida, but I grew up in a very unhealthy family. Everybody in my family smokes cigarettes except for me. Like I was a trainer. I got my certification in Florida, but I worked for a small gym that didn't teach me anything. And like honestly, Florida's not really a state care about the health. It's not. It's a retirement state and it's a
Vacation.
yeah, exactly. Like people don't really care about their health. And so I moved out here and excuse me, sorry. There we go. I moved out here and I actually my first job was working for a chiropractic company, and so I was still like in the health field, and that's what really fired me up to get back into training. And so from there, I went to my last job and met a boss who really just fired my passion for fitness, health and fitness. And so that was one starter. And then like the second one is I moved out here originally for a relationship. And the relationship honestly didn't work out, which is fine, but that was another growth point is because like I just realized not only was I unhappy in that relationship, but I was really unhappy with myself and like what I was doing with my life. And one day I was just like, listen, I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of just feeling down all the time. So I gave it everything I could in the gym. I signed back up with a coach with Team Elite Physique to do a competition. And it was probably a 6 month of solid grinding, but I don't think I've ever been more happy with the person that I am. I don't think I've ever been more secure in myself and how I feel about myself and my image than I have been in my entire life. So like, yeah, it was negative, but I turned something into the best positive I had ever been.
Absolutely. So like, gosh, talk about like life switching on a dime. So you came out here from Florida to Colorado for someone else, and then talk like blessing in disguise. I say that kind of thing all the time. Like everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah, exactly. And like I look back and I think about other aspects of my life and like who I've met and where I am, and like none of that would have happened if I didn't make that jump to move out here for someone. And like, yes, it didn't work out, but it was still like that. Actually, that breakup was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, and that's what I use, and I use that as fuel. Like it doesn't. You can always revamp yourself. You can always start fresh. Like you're not stuck. No matter where you are in life, you are never stuck. Every day is a new day to be who you want to be.
I love that. So you touched on a second ago about how like competing after that competition, you like kind of like it like revamped like your attitude for everything. Like so, a lot of people find competing if they've only done it once or if they've never done it at all, they think that it's a super negative experience. It causes body dysmorphia, like all of these problems. Like, what is your take on competing? I guess.
I can play both fields on this one because my very first competition, my coach was a guy that I actually got my personal training certification with. And like, don't get me wrong, like he's doing really good now, but I think we were both really fresh into the industry. And he had coached a couple people through shows, but I was already coming off of 1 month off my very first knee surgery. I only had 10 weeks for the show that I wanted to do because it was the very last show of the year. And he had me just like, now that I look back at it after I've done another show, like my plan versus the energy output, like I was just, it was too much for my body, and it like kind of did mess up my metabolism really really bad, and then I blew up. I gained a ton of weight in the off season. I didn't even know what a reverse diet was.
Right.
And I, like I said, I kind of lost that passion for training and for health and fitness, and I blew up, and I realized I just wasn't happy anymore. So I would work on myself. Like I would go back to the gym, but I was still. This is when I was in the toxic relationship. I was going out and partying all the time, and like going out and drinking every weekend and on weekdays, and going to sports bars and eating wings and all of this and not having food. Yeah, and like I would go to the gym like a couple days a week and half-ass workouts. And I'm a trainer, so I know what I'm doing. And I'm just like not pushing myself, you know. And it was just like overall a really bad time for me. And then I went through the whole breakup and everything like that, and I was tired of feeling the way I was feeling about myself, so I signed up with Adam, with Team Elite, and like the support I got from the team, the structure of my workouts, the structure of the diet plan, anytime I had a question with him, he answered immediately, like just is an amazing person through and through, I think, and it fired everything up inside of me. It gave me that confidence I needed back, and it like went tenfold. Like now I just want to help everybody.
So your trainer really matters.
Oh yeah. I was just talking to my friend about that earlier. It's like I will be with Team Elite forever. I'm so proud. Like obviously, you know, we're a big name. Like Team Elite is very big. We're in the Arnold. We had 4 competitors in the Arnold last weekend, and Ashley Kay and our team placed 3rd. Like that's huge. And so like
Laura Lee still plays.
Laura Lee still got 6th. Yeah, and then we had a couple other girls who did good because they did the amateur, and I know I want to continue going in the sport. I want to get my pro card. I want to go past it, and so I'm going to stay with somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
Right.
And yeah, exactly. And who's got that name on that? So.
I'm gonna check to make sure it's still recording. Because I had that happen last time where we got like 30 minutes into it, and I got a phone call 10 minutes in, so I didn't record the last 10 minutes.
Oh no.
It was awful. I was like, all right, let's do this again. All right. And so actually, I guess 18 seconds. Okay. All right. So what do you think the average person's biggest flaw, obstacle, or downfall that they do not overcome is, and what stops them from chasing a dream to happen?
My answer for that, honestly, we live in a society of instant gratification, and like that just comes with like technology, with just like the way society is these days. Is people expect, like, I mean, think about the way things that you see on magazines. Like if you go into a grocery store and you are checking out, and there's a magazine, it's like lose 10 pounds in 6 days. Like yeah. Everything is about like I want it now. I don't want to put in the work. I want the easiest. Yep. I want the fastest, easiest, free, cheapest route I can go. I want it now. And that's the thing is so many people they get like whether it be like dieting or like reaching your goals at work or anything like that. They hit it so hard at first and they get burnt out immediately and they're like, well, this isn't even working. So why even bother? Right. And that is the worst thing you can do. I look at myself in the mirror sometimes when I'm at home and I'm like, gosh, I feel like I'm not really like making those changes that I want to be in an off season and like getting ready to be back on rep. And then I compare my transformation photos and they're like day and night different. And I'm like, this is why I tell everybody to take those photos and like keep logs, like measurements, whatever is easiest. Try on clothes. Like if you know that there's an outfit that you really want to fit into when you're starting this, put it on, take photos. 2 weeks later, go put that same outfit on. It's not about the scale. It's about how you look and feel. So do stuff like that. And you just understand, like I said earlier, again, you want everybody at home on the couch. Like you may not reach your goal in 3 months, you may not reach it in 6 months, 9 months, a year. But is slowing down or stopping going to get you there any faster? Right. No. So just keep going. Just keep going.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, instant gratification is, I mean, every industry revolves around wanting it right now. And that is like so true. And it's so hard in fitness because to actually achieve like a real like physical fitness goal, I mean, it takes between more than 20 weeks. And for the average person, it's going to take 6 months or a year or even longer to really get where they're going. And they don't understand that or realize that. And then they start putting in the work and they're like 6 weeks in and they're like, I've only lost 6 pounds. I'm like, you've lost 6 pounds. That's a pound a week.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like it's that was another thing too, is like after my show, I looked really good, and I was doing until November and December, and it was holidays, I was doing really good in my office. I know, and I had a 15-week prep for my last show, and like obviously, you know, you were there. I placed third in novice and fifth in open out of the 2 classes, which is good. I got first call outs in both of my classes, which is what I wanted. But it took me 15 weeks just to get there, and my original goal was trying to get first or second so I could get that national qualification. So I could go do nationals in Miami so my family could see me.
Yeah.
And like to be one spot behind it like sucks because you put in 15 weeks of work to step on stage. But I placed in both classes I competed, and I got first call outs. And the last time I competed 2 years before that, I didn't place at all, like at all. Didn't get first call outs at all. So like, it takes time. I'm not to a point where even if I got national qualified, I honestly don't think I can go to nationals and get my pro card the first time. That's going to probably be next year or the year after. So no, it's not going to happen in the summertime or in the 2 months that you decided that it's, you know, new year, new you. Like you have to put in time. You have to put in work.
And understand it.
Yes, we're almost adults today. Neither were you.
I love that. All right, so do you have any last things that you just want to say that you think anybody would like to hear?
I mean, not really. I feel like I touched on a lot of things that I can think of right off the top of my head. The only thing that I can say, because you said you are going to tag me in the post, is if there are any questions that somebody might have personally that they want to reach out to me, I love answering questions. Like, please DM me. I will answer anything that I feel like is constructive, a real question. If you really want that information, I love helping people. I love educating.
Right.
So reach out to me. I'd love to help you.
And once again, here's her Instagram. Maybe if you guys want to go and follow her. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week with someone else that I'm interviewing. See ya.
See ya.